Okay children, in the last video, in the human light and colorful world lesson, we discussed about least distance of distinct vision and angle of vision. Okay, now we are going to see the structure of eye. What is the structure of this eye? This is our eye. I already told you, in all the sense organs, eye is very important sense organ because through eye is the organ through which you are able to see the world. Eye is the organ through which you are gathering some memory and you are putting it in your brain. So eye is very important organ. Okay. First we are going to see about the structure of eye. Eye is a sense of sight. Through eye we are able to see the things. I am able to see you people. I am able to see the benches which are present in our classroom. I am able to see the fans which are present in our classroom only because of my eye. So eye gives you sense of sight. Eyeball is nearly spherical now. It is nearly spherical. Only little part, the front part is somewhat protruding. Protruding means coming out. Little. The front part is little bit protruding out. Otherwise the eyeball is spherical. The eyeball is nearly spherical. Only front part is little bit sharply curved. It is sharply curved. And this eye is covered with a layer called as cornea. Sometimes people will say that I got suklalu in my eye. They will get that flower-like structure in the cornea. If you don't do the same what I am doing, if you touch that white color part of the eye and if you drag that, there is a layer which will move also. Don't put your hands. Just to tell you, just to inform you, I am using. If you won't touch, there will be a layer called as cornea. That cornea, our eye is covered with a layer called as cornea. It is a transparent protective membrane. That means it is a transparent membrane which is not having any color, and it is a protective membrane which is protecting your eye. After the eyelids, I am not talking about the outer parts of the eye. I am talking about the inner parts of the eye. So the first part is eyeball is eye. I am telling you that eye is spherical in nature, and it is having little bit sharpening end, and this eyeball is having a covering called as cornea. This cornea is a transparent and protective membrane. It will protect your eye. It is protecting the eye. It is a transparent and protecting layer. Behind this cornea, see here, this is cornea here. This is the cornea here. Behind this membrane, there is a fluid-filled chamber. A chamber means a place. A place is there which is filled with some fluid, and it is called as aqueous humor. As it is filled with some water, it is filled with some fluid. We are calling it aqueous humor. And behind this aqueous humor, behind the aqueous humor, there is a crystalline lens. A lens made up of crystal. Crystal in the sense, just like it is not in the powdered form. It is like a crystal, salt crystals. Okay, the eye lens is crystalline in nature. Okay, so we are having a crystalline lens, and between the aqueous humor and crystalline lens, there is a muscular diaphragm. Don't read it as diaphragm. Don't read it as diaphragm. It is diaphragm. There is a diaphragm called as iris. So, see here children, let me explain you. First, our eye is spherical, and outside in the front it is having little bit protrude. Okay, sorry, projection. And this is a sharply curved. And behind this is called as cup, and eye is having a protective layer called as cornea. It is a transparent and protective layer. Behind that cornea cornea, there is a fluid-filled chamber called as aqueous humor. And behind that aqueous humor, there is a crystalline lens. And the crystalline between the cornea and crystalline lens, there is a muscular diaphragm called as iris. It is having iris. Now let us discuss about this lens. I told you that lens is crystalline in nature. Lens is the object which is taking which is able to see all the objects which are around us. I am able to see that bench because on my lens the image of the bench is falling. The images will fall on your lens. Lens is just like a mirror of your eye. It is the mirror of your eye. All the objects, whatever you are seeing, their images will fall on your lens. Okay. So this lens is having, here in the first chapter when I told you how to draw the ray diagram, I told you that when the object is at center of curvature, this is object, you are getting the image at center of curvature only. I told you. And when the object is between focal point and center of curvature, when the object is here, the image will be beyond center of curvature, I told you. That means, depending upon the object position, when the object position is changing, the image position is changing. See here, when the object is here, the image is here. But when the object position is changed, if the object is beyond the center of curvature, suppose if the object is here, are you getting the image even here? As in the case of this, are you getting the image here? No. You will get image in between the focal and center of curvature. That means, depending upon the object position, the image position is changing. Okay? But here, that facility is not there. Why that facility is not there? I will explain you. So, see here, in our eye, we are having eyeball is spherical in shape. We are having outer protecting layer called as cornea and a fluid-filled chamber called as aqueous humor and a crystalline lens, and in between the fluid-filled chamber and crystalline lens there is a muscle called as iris. To that iris there is a small hole which is called as pupil, and pupil is called as variable aperture. That means variable means changing. Why we are calling it variable aperture? Because its size changes. When light is entering more, if you are seeing the sun, more light will enter, then the aperture will come closer. It will become small. When you enter into a dark room, the aperture will increase its size. It will become bigger in size. So it is able to change its size. So see here, this is iris and this is the hole. When you are entering into a dark room, the size will be more. When you are entering into a brighter room, or when you are watching any brighter object like sun, then this the gap, when you are seeing any brighter object, the gap will be reduced. When you are seeing any darker object, the gap will be increased. As the size is changing, we will call that as variable aperture. The aperture is able to change its size. So we will call it variable aperture.